Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews and Off Times Reminisces. So today we're doing one of those artists that on initial listen I sort of thought no, not for me. And just as I was about to click off listen to the album, I sort of something just sort of hooked in a little bit. Sort of I tarried a while and sort of thought, okay, let's try it a bit longer, and in the end I've bought the blooming thing. I don't really know why, because this album comprises of elements that normally I wouldn't touch with a barge pole. I wouldn't touch with your barge pole. So I find myself in a position of liking something, but I don't know why. Now, for me, part of it, I suppose, is jingle jangle music should never form any part of an album that says it's black metal. No, you can't convince me any other way that that should be the case. However, this one seems to have got away with it. I'm looking at the album for the first time with any sort of degree of interest. Even the blooming album cover is something that ordinarily would, if I saw that in a record shop as I'm browsing through, I would not stop for a millisecond having pawed at that album sleeve to look at it. I would have gone straight by it. So it's all very strange then that I'm here today reviewing a song from Deviere, or Deviere, because I shouldn't like it, but somehow I do. Now, there's a caveat to this. I've not heard it very often. I've heard it about 3 or 4 times, and not only once have I listened to the whole thing in one go. So nonetheless, let's just crack on as I waffle along and see what it was that convinced me to lay out the dosh. So far, I wonder how many of you are like me going, this is black metal? Then you have to think a little bit, don't you? What is black metal nowadays? And you have to really take it on the strength of what the artist says, that if they say they're black metal, then black metal they are. Who am I to argue? Goes back to very much to my early years when punk rock came out. The punk bands that you would question whether their music was punk, but they said it was, so okay then, fine by me. Now, albeit we've only heard 1 minute and 25 seconds of an over 9-minute song, so things may become more apparent later, but at the moment, even though what's passed so far I wouldn't consider as black metal, albeit what is black metal, I would still say that I'm intrigued. I'm not turned off at all by what I've heard so far. But let's go on. Sometimes the obvious stares you in the face, and the obvious here is I've already cocked up with this insofar as the the band's name isn't Era. That's the album title. I've said before, I don't read lyrics and I don't really pay much attention to detail when it comes to an artist. So lots of my favourite albums, I know the artist name, but I don't, half the time I can't recall what the album's called. So Pâenil Era. What I should have said at the beginning about the band, and I'm sure that's pronounced wrong. But nonetheless, occasionally on this channel we play geolocator with the music, and sort of try and guess purely from the sound of the music where the artist originates from. Now this one I would have struggled initially, I think, but it's from Romania. Let's put you out of your misery. They're from Romania, but although I don't think I would have quite got it right straight away, it is of no surprise to me that they are, because from what the Romanian black metal, or any sort of metal I've heard from there, really does deviate from the norm quite a lot, but there is that sort of element to it which does sort of some more than others, and this one, as I say, isn't as quite as obvious as other Romanian bands, but there is, now I've heard it and seen where they come from, I'm not surprised. Okie doke. So initially, not that I'm any expert on that part of the metal genre, but the initial parts of this reminded me of anathema from way back when. I have no clue what anathema sound like now, or the latest stuff, but around the time I heard some of their stuff, the beginning sort of this song reminded me of them. Now clearly we've gone into more rapid territory. Woohoo! Always welcome. And quite nicely the melancholy of the sort of slow introduction was woven into the more rapid stuff, and accentuated. There was interplays there that were delightful. They gave me some delight anyway. And so another thing that they've done, which so many metal bands do, is they have that sort of tranquil beginning and then chuck in the heaviest bollocks they can possibly create, relatively. And some do that heavier than others. This lot haven't fallen into that trap. They've kept that initial sort of brittleness that formed the first part of this song, kept it into the more rapid stuff. So they've not gone, let's down tune, chuck in the chunks, and make this the heaviest thing since Mr. Heavy was born. So it's all kept appropriate and the better for it, so say I. So there's not many bands that can have you tapping your feet rapidly one minute to stroking your chin the next, and this band can certainly do that. And when I mentioned at the first the jingle jangle, here we are in archetypal jingle jangle territory. And as I say, normally I would be running a mile, get away, because I normally can't stand it. It's all about context, and here, it's just simple jingle jangle with some conversational drumming, shall we say, and it's keeping me there. Anywhere else, probably I'll be sort of drifting away and going, wake me up when the tumult starts. But here, no, I'm with it still. And this is where genre definitions can chuck it out the window. Who cares? The thing is that black metal? Don't know. Do you care? No, I don't. The band themselves don't fall into that trap of they've got some tags at the bottom of their Bandcamp page where is it? It's basically all black metal. All relates to black metal. Now, so many of these sort of bands stick in post black metal or post rock, post this, post the other. which always has me sort of furrowing my brow into what the fucking hell is post this, post that, and what the other. How do you define it? And then I stop because I don't really care. But anyway, off we go again, off on tangents. But let's just say, regardless of the composition structure, which would normally sort of, as I say, have me sort of running away, get away. I'm not. I'm sat here listening to it, and I am enjoying it. Do you see what I mean there? The say the jingle jangle and the sort of more subdued but still bright slower sections there, or sparser sections, when it comes to ramping up the emphasis. It isn't, there isn't a chasm of difference. You're not sky high the minute, 1 minute, and then sort of drowning in the depths the next. It is not subtle either, but it isn't a great contrast in the way that many other bands tend to do. And I do think with this band's style, I think it's the better for it. Now I'm anticipating, I've only heard this track, is it once before? Might be once before. I'm anticipating that if my memory serves me well, this tends to stay energetic towards the end, till the end rather. So let's see if my memory is as work. My memory is shot to fuck, but let's see if my memory serves me better this time.
I've been shot to wall.
So there you go. Yes, my memory did serve me well for a change, and it did kept it energetic to until the end. And what it also did was injected lots of drama in there, and that's where this band does excel. They have nuances that ramp up the drama and sort of look at the emotions a little bit. The other thing they do, which I've already alluded to, is that they incorporate elements that anywhere else I would be reaching for the bucket, but here works perfectly well. And again, this just proves that labels are pointless, because yes, I will say this is black metal on the whole, and as most or lots of bands do, they incorporate elements from elsewhere. So, but the main thing is, do I enjoy it? And yes, I blooming well do. It's probably going to be, while I'm in that frame of mind, in that mood, a staple of my listening experience. So there you go. Fun for all, and darest I say, if you were meeting a prospective partner who may not be into this sort of music, what a way to bring them round, playing this one first before you get into darker territory. Yeah, anyway, just a thought. Clicky bollocks, catch you later, cheerio.